Okay, what's going on, everyone? Decided to go live today from tonight from my hotel here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Actually, I'm technically in Camden, New Jersey, which is just over the Delaware River. So I like to whenever I get a chance to travel, I like to try to go live at least once during those travelings. So this is the time I decided to go live. I was going to go live in the city, but it was just a little too hectic. There was a lot going on. So yeah, I decided to go live from here. I haven't done a hotel live video yet. Something I've been thinking about doing for a while. I just haven't done it. So yeah. So instead of being in the field doing a live video, I decided to upload here. So, how's everyone doing? I'm definitely thawing out a little bit today. Was a little bit chilly. It wasn't as chilly as yesterday, but it definitely was chilly. I think the high today was 46. I'm not even sure if it got to 46 yesterday. It might have. But yeah, yeah, it's definitely a little bit different than Florida. So yeah, I'm up here in Philadelphia doing some filming locations. Well, filming some different locations, not just filming locations, but definitely some filming locations are being documented while I'm here. Um, some I've hinted to, some I haven't. So a little bit of that. But yeah, so here hanging out for a little bit. I was gonna take and send out a post earlier, it just didn't happen. So yeah, so I'm here hanging out with you guys, just answering some questions you have, having a little chit chat, talking about filming, talking about true crime, talking about historic locations, famous graves, haunted locations, a little bit of everything. It's definitely important to take and have a little bit of variety in your life to help spice things up some. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So, um, let's hang out for a little bit, see who pops in. Should post something probably on social media, letting everyone know, hey, I'm live. So I'm gonna do that now. Yeah. So hanging out here in in well, technically New Jersey. Adding two new states to my list of states that I've been to. Unfortunately, I haven't really been to a whole bunch of states. Some people go to a lot more states than I've been to. I kind of do a boomerang effect around the eastern coast of the United States. I've kind of followed the coast, going from almost to Texas all the way up to now New Jersey and Pennsylvania being the furthest north that I've ever been, and I haven't really gone much into the interior of the states either. Pretty much beyond. If it wasn't a bordering state that borders the Gulf of Mexico, I most likely haven't been to it outside of Tennessee. So there's definitely a lot of things I have not seen in my life that I would like to have an opportunity to go and see. But yeah, so just hanging out here. It's a Friday night, thawing out a little bit. Um, yeah, let's post something online. A nice picture or something. That's a nice one. Let's pick this one. Crazy how time flies when you're going live versus like doing a video. Something it's like earlier I was doing a video that you'll be seeing sooner than later that I started doing the intro for it. And before I knew it, I was already 2 minutes in to the intro, and I'm like, how am I already 2 minutes into this intro? I literally just started this video, and it's already 2 minutes in. So it's kind of crazy how fast time flies when you're trying to film. So sometimes you have to go back and you have to speed some things up. Sometimes to slow some things down. It's uh, it's definitely a learning curve that I'm slowly getting better, and in some cases, probably getting worse at, if that's possible. If that makes sense. Trying to send this picture and it's giving me problems. But yeah, so sometimes you take and I think sometimes you put a little bit too much effort into things. I think we all can be our biggest and worst critic, and that can definitely be detrimental if you're trying to, harness your craft in something. It can really slow down your the creative juices, which could be detrimental to progress. And I'm just as guilty of it as probably the next person. Why won't this? It's crazy how some people can be super, super tech savvy, and that's just not me, unfortunately. I don't know if you can hear the train going in the background. There's a bridge that runs across the Delaware River, across the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, and you can ride it, and it takes you into the City Hall area of Camden. And if you're taking it into Philadelphia, it dumps you off uh, about a couple blocks from City Center. So probably about maybe 4 blocks or so from City Hall. So it's not too bad distance wise. And again, those are city blocks, which I'm still trying to get used to. I've only had a few exposures to city blocks. This is one of those events where I've definitely found myself having some exposures to city blocks. And yeah, it's definitely not for the faint of heart if you're not used to walking like that. So just typing out a quick post, just letting everyone know that I'm live currently from the channel, live on the channel, so that they can come and join if they would like to. Keep telling myself I'm going to take and like post, hey, I'm going to go live this such and such day, this such and such time. It never happens. Never happens. So, but anyhow, yeah. But I'm here, and you're here, so let's talk about some stuff. Let's talk about some things that you will not be seeing, just so you can kind of have a little bit of an idea of what I'm not filming on this trip. Sometimes I like to leave people up to the surprise of what I will be filming, but I like to keep that as somewhat of a surprise. But if I'm not filming something, there's no need to keep it as a secret that I'm not filming it. Um, so there was a few things I really wanted to film while I was here, but it just didn't happen. And most of those filming, or because of just logistically of how far they're away. So some of these bigger cities, it's difficult to film um, some filming locations because of how vast the cities are and how many places were actually used in a movie from one city. So it's difficult sometimes to hit all the points. So in some cases, you almost have to pick and choose what you actually what you film because you don't get a chance to film everything because there's just too much to film, and you find yourself going crazy if you try to film all the time. So okay. Yeah, so what I'm not filming the anything like the Ryan Dunn crash site. I was debating on it, but it's like 25 miles away. I currently don't have a vehicle here, so I have to either go rent a vehicle or pay an obnoxious amount of money to Uber out to the Chester, Pennsylvania area to go to the crash site, and have to go into Ohio, which would be nice to add another state to my list. But Ohio would be a couple hours from here. So literally getting in the car and driving 3 hours to film the location, which would be very difficult. It would be cool. Don't get me. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely some things I would like to see. I'd like, I'd like to make it out to those locations. I would like to make it out to. There's a lot of famous graves here in Pennsylvania that I'd love to go see that just are too logistically out of the way. There is some filming locations I would love to see that were filmed here in Philadelphia that I'm not going to get a chance to go and see. They're just too far away, unfortunately. Um, there's some things here that are not super far away, but I just don't really have the time to get to them. Many of those being a lot of the Rocky locations, if not 90% of them. They're just really spread out and they're really far away from each other. And they're not very easy to get to. And it's not always the most positive locations where these spots are at. So, in an attempt of, trying to take in logistics, time, and safety as a factor to play into, each one of these locations I'm going to, I want to make sure that I'm being effective and what I'm able to actually document on this channel in a timely manner. Because we could easily take and I could stay here for these 4 days and film one video, and that would not be productive at all if I'm trying to get the most out of my stay. So really trying to figure out and condensing down where I'm going, who I'm seeing, and what I'm documenting. I have a higher chance of hitting multiple vehicles. Like right now, I kind of lost track of how many videos I've done. One, I don't know. It's just day two, and I think I've done maybe nine videos. Um, and there's still a few more that I still need to go. I have a clipboard here that I'm looking at that I've written out some areas I still want to go see, some things I want to go do. There's something I really want to go do tomorrow. I may do it tomorrow afternoon. There is a restaurant here that's supposed to be around from when the founding fathers were here, and it's supposed to believe that they actually ate at this restaurant and had refreshments at this restaurant. So being able to sit and partake in those activities where some of the most prominent people in our nation's democracy were at one point in time is definitely something I find to be worth doing. To be able to take and sit where these founding fathers sat. Oh, I see someone has popped in. Hello, hello. Good evening. Oh, they left. Okay. Just so you all know, back to what I was talking about, you take and I would love to go to all the Rocky locations. It's just if I had someone to drive me around and drop me off right where the spot is and then drive down and come pick me back up again, it would be a lot easier. But if I'm having to take and, walk it all myself, it's a lot to take on. So yeah. So most of the Rocky locations I'm not going to make it to, unfortunately, because of that. There is a location I really want to go to, but I still have to keep looking at it because it's like I have to go to 2 locations to really fully answer the story, and really, I only have the opportunity to really go to 1. So it raises the question, do I just document that one location and really document that one location? Or do I just forgo the whole experience? Because I'm not sure the next time I'm gonna be up in this area, so I'm not sure if I'm really gonna have the opportunity to go in and film the second part of the location. And the location I'm looking at is H. Holmes. He was believed to be the America's first serial killer, and he was there's a prison where he was executed at, and there's also his final resting place that's kind of on opposite sides of the city. One's at the former location, the site of the prison is still a couple blocks south, but his final resting place is a couple blocks or a couple miles northwest. So I can probably get to his prison, the location where the prison was, where he was executed, but getting to his grave's going to be very difficult. So I'm not sure if that's going to be an opportunity or an option. So I may find myself just not covering that one, unfortunately. And again, I'm just trying to get this post up real quick. Let's see what else I'm not going to have a chance to film. There's a couple graves I really wanted to film, but they're like 25 miles away. And when you don't have a vehicle, it becomes very difficult. And many of you probably can relate to that, where you find yourself going out, and there's so much you want to do, but time wise, it's just not possible. And one of those things being, a lot of these locations. I've always wanted to make my way here to Philadelphia. So be finally making it here is definitely something that's great. Being able to take and see where the drafting of the Olive Branch petition, the drafting of the Declaration of Independence, our first Continental Congress, our first Constitutional Convention. The foundations of our democracy were founded here. The amount of history, the good, the bad, and the ugly elements that happened here at this location, the city, and being able to immerse myself in it is is definitely something I really wanted to do. I wanted to take and be here and see these things for myself. So that was definitely something that was important. And I keep looking at my list of things that I've seen and things I haven't seen, and it's trying to figure out, what's like a non-negotiable that has to happen before I leave. And there's a lot of things, that, or yeah, that'd be nice if I saw it, or yes, this would be nice if I saw it. So, like I didn't make it into the archives when I was in Washington D.C. in July, so I didn't have a chance to go and see our founding documents. However, uh, going into the going into one of the side buildings for the Independence Hall, you get to see a few of the copies. Like there's a copy of the Declaration that belonged to one person. There's another copy of the I think it's the articles that belong to someone else, and there's a third document there, one of our founding documents that belonged to a third person. George Washington had one of the copies that was there, and they put on display different pieces of each one of the documents, different pages from it. So it's not the same page being exposed at all times. So that was definitely nice. Check the box that I was not seeing or was not able to experience while I was in DC. So being able to see those documents here, it's not the full document that they have on display, but it's definitely something I did not see before. So checking that off the bucket list was definitely nice. But yeah, I think of what else. I spent so much time focusing on what I am going to be looking at, what I am going to be documenting, that I've kind of forgot about some of the things that I'm not going to be documenting. Um, hmm, yeah, let's talk a little bit about my experience getting here. Um, so I flew up yesterday morning. Had to get up at 3:30 in the morning, super super early. I'm not typically somebody gets up that early. I had to flew in, made it here about 9:30 or so. Made it to my hotel about 10 something. They got me into a room. This isn't the room that I booked. I actually booked the rooms of a single bed. I actually have a double bed in here. They the problem is I couldn't get me into my single bedroom that I asked for, so they put me into a double bedroom, but it would still give me the river view. And if you actually, I can take it. I can show you. Take my computer with us. Obviously, you might not be able to. So that's the city. You can see there's downtown Philadelphia there. There's the Benjamin Franklin Bridge that if you haven't checked out, there's going to be a video up sooner than later that actually shows me and that bridge. I've walked across that bridge multiple times, ultimately finally surrendering to the mercy of the bridge and starting to take the subway. Today I just decided to take the subway because there's just so much walking happening in the city that I just did not want to keep exposing myself to, having to keep walking, 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 because the bridge itself is 1.5 miles in one direction. So you're looking at least 3 miles of your daily walks happening, just walking across the bridge and then walking back from Philadelphia here into Camden. Plus, you have about a 0.8 mile walk from the entrance of the bridge to the hotel that I'm staying at. So I have about a mile walk or so to the train station. And then the train station drops you off in the middle of about 3 blocks away from City Center. So it's in a decent spot. You're in the middle of the city, but you're like three or four or so city blocks away from the main city center. And that's definitely more durable. My feet don't hurt as bad today. My legs are not as sore today. They're still pretty sore, but not as sore as they were yesterday after all of that walking that I'm just not used to. So I decided to take the subway this time. Went and get the little day card. Did a round trip with the card, and went over there, walked around, did some locations, did a filming location. What did I do? So I did a filming location. I did. I'm just looking back at my pictures. I did some haunted locations. I did some historical locations. Another historical location. See, yesterday. So what did I do yesterday? I did a type of video that I haven't done before. I went and checked out a pizza place that I heard was really good. So I immersed myself in that. I have some other historical location videos. I'm probably going to split up. I'm probably going to do a historical location video for one of these videos, as well as a haunted history video. So a little bit different context between the two. See what else we got. Again, you can write down in the chat if you have a question or something you want to ask me. Here we have historical. We have a whole bunch of famous graves. Famous graves, famous graves, famous graves. How many videos do I have? I did that one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6. 6, 7. I don't remember what that one is. Probably 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I guess if we include this one, we have 14 videos. Yeah, 14 videos will be coming so far. And I have plans for a few more that I'm going to be putting together. I have my list that I still need to finalize. But hang on for a few more minutes, see if anyone wants to chat, has any questions, or has any suggestions or things they want to see here from the city of brotherly love. Maybe there's something over here on the New Jersey side that you want to see. So I'm over here. Technically, I'm staying in Jersey, so I could always see something that's in this area. And that's actually something I'm probably going to do. I'm going to go through my list of locations that are non-negotiables for tomorrow, and then I'm going to see what I can do here in Jersey in this area, and maybe squeeze out. The goal is to squeeze out hopefully at least another 10 videos or so tomorrow. That's a lot. I don't know if it's doable. We're gonna try. Grab a pen real quick. I think I dropped one of my pens when I was walking in the street because I had some more pens in the side pocket of my backpack, and I think they fell out, which is terrible. I still have another video that I need to do, so I wanted to write it down before I forgot. That was, so many different locations here. It's crazy. It's probably one of the most prolific ones, especially in the supernatural realm, would probably be Eastern State Penitentiary, which ghost hunters went on and documented. It makes you wonder, did the word penitentiary come from the fact of this massive, most expensive jail here, this prison here? Is that where the word penitentiary came from? Is the play on words with Penn? Is that supposed to be a homage to Pennsylvania? Let me know in the comments below. If you watch this later at a different time or you pop in at some point in time, let me know. If you know, I'm probably going to Google it. It's a good thing to Google. I'm going to put Google right here. So I'm curious now, which is good or potentially even bad because I find myself going down a rabbit hole and I may spend the next 3 hours diving into what was the context behind why they named penitentiaries Penn after Pennsylvania and all these different things. It may be good, it may be bad, but we shall find out very quickly. But say it's based off my list here, I made it to none of the locations on this list, so yeah, that happens. Yeah, about 2 more minutes or so, I'll hang out, waiting to see if anyone's going to pop in for more than a second or so. Again, if you have any questions, you put it down in the comments below, and I'll answer those questions. Unless they're extremely way out there in left field, then I may sidestep them depending on what the question is. But anyhow, hopefully everyone's having a good weekend. Hopefully everyone had a good Thanksgiving, having a good holiday. I don't want to think my feet are killing me. I'm not used to walking this much. Let me check my health. So yesterday I walked like 27,000 steps. Today I walked 20,000. You see, not walking across the bridge for the 3 miles really took 6,000 steps away from me. I only walked 20,000 steps, and there go like I don't know, go run around the neighborhood or something. Yesterday it was 26,000. The day before 7,800. It keeps yelling at me because it says my audio is too high. I walked 12 miles yesterday. I'm averaging zero point 0.3 more miles per day in 2022 compared to 2023. It's probably because I've gone to two major cities in 2022. One to Washington, D.C., and now I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That could be something that has to do with the fact that I've walked 0.3 more miles. Oh. Well, the year's almost up, so there's probably not going to be any other big city travels in my future for 2022, but there may be some for 2023. Definitely, if the right spark gets me and is a justifiable reason to travel to some of these other places, it could be justified. Yeah. So we're coming up on 30 minutes now. There's some other things I could be accomplishing right now, like doing some editing. So I'm going to be saying goodbye here in a second, so I can dive in to get some videos out. I was in the process of getting some clips together here. I before decided to go live, then I had the epiphany saying, "Oh, wow, why don't I go live?" I haven't gone live on this trip yet, so I wanted to go live. Hopefully, everyone's having a good start to the weekend, and definitely be on the lookout. We have a lot of videos coming out of Philadelphia. I actually have maybe one or two that are on the back burner from a couple weeks ago. So yeah, so sometimes I like to try to load some videos. Sometimes I've been doing some short videos lately because sometimes the videos just if I give you like this really long video, you may be like, why? So sometimes I break up the videos up into small little sections and give you a little piece of the video versus giving you the entire video. Because if you have the attention span that I do, those big long videos sometimes can be quite taxing on you. So have a great night, everyone. Continue to look for the history and film. And I have so much coming here in the near future. Thank you all for the support. Continue to support, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, sharing the channel, getting the channel out there. We're sitting about a little over 100, 854, I think we're at subscribers. We've been bouncing around a little bit, plus one, minus one the last couple of days. So hopefully we continue working in the upward fashion. We're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers, which is something that would be super monumental. As I mentioned before, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I do have a gift involved. There's a plan that I'm going to send out to a lucky subscriber, and I don't know what the gift's going to be yet, but I have a couple ideas of what I want to do. It's something pretty decent as a thank you to all the viewers, and you're all 1,000 of the viewers. Once we hit 1,000, we'll have access to this gift. So. This channel would be nothing without you guys. So, okay, continue to history and film. Have a great night, everyone. And I'm going to go get into doing some editing. Hoping to have a really good video out for you guys tomorrow. So, have a great night, everyone. See you later.